got a message saying we're up in 11 minutes.
We should be live. We should be live.
Yeah, there's no one there yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
What's your password?
We're trying to do it now, yeah. Are you guys live?
Yeah, we're live now.
Okay, yeah, they're live now, yeah.
YouTube. I'm just gonna log in and get the questions.
Oh, really? Hey.
Yes,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just by YouTube, just the main.
Yeah, we're gonna use the.
Hang on. I'm just gonna. All right, here we go. Live. Cool. So now I just need to see the. Watching.
Use that.
Yeah, I need to mute this. I just need to. I just need to get the.
Yep. Got it.
Live chat. So okay, cool. All right, how many have we got on board? Is there anyone on board at the moment?
Are you on YouTube?
Yes.
You got it? Cool.
All right.
Okay. Bye. Just go bye.
Hey, who's live? Here we go. FPV squad. Hello. I've locked up at this end.
Do this?
Oh, I'm not going to bother doing phone. No, it's too hard.
How do you get?
Right, Ryan's going to tell me the questions. I can't do that. So we'll just hang around then until we get a few more people.
Brad said apparently there's a message that came up a couple of minutes ago, live in 11 minutes. For whatever reason.
Don't know.
You got 10 people.
10 people watching. Cool.
Audio's good.
All right.
Let's go.
Sorry, fill my mouth with apple. Hi guys. It's been a while since we've done a live feed, so I thought I'll kick off with a bit of a tour of what we've done on the boat over the last, I think it's been about 2 months since we did the last one, so I'll kick off and show you what we've done. And yeah, feel free to throw questions up and we'll go through them as we go. So,
Oh, I see.
out the back here, what's going on? Yeah, right. So what, these doors that are stacked up here are the rear doors for the lounge. So you might have seen through some of our videos, we welded them all up and we had a bit of dramas with them bending and all sorts of stuff. So there's a video coming up, bending doors. So there's a video coming up called Bending Doors with Heat, or Bending Metal with Heat, or something like that. It's live for all of our Patreons, and I think it's coming out on YouTube in a week or two, something like that. So these doors go here. So basically this gap here is what's sealed up with the doors, and then they swing outwards. So hopefully this frame and the doors and everything will be finished and painted within the next week or so. Once that's done, I'll be working on the side door, so one here and one there. Actually, I'll show you the hinges that we've got for those because they're pretty awesome. Come back this way. So let's get rid of that. So these are the stainless pentagraph hinges that we're using for the side doors. So they look a bit sort of complex and whatever, but basically you have, so this is the main weight bearing hinge, and then this arm and this arm are essentially control rods. So they control basically the angle of the door throughout the whole travel when it opens and closes. Yeah, so the door itself is 80 odd kgs, that's why we built them out of such thick stainless. But that was designed, these were all designed up in SolidWorks by one of our Patreons, Rod. and then the local Boilermaker down the road gave me a hand, and we bent them up. We've got a video coming out on actually bending all of these up. And then I made a jig recently, so in the next 2 or 3 weeks we'll have a video out of how to actually how we put all of these together. But we made a jig, and these, so the distance between there and there has to be millimetre perfect, and it has to be identical across all of them. So yeah, we made a jig that helps us do that. So that's pretty cool. What else have we got? Bathroom. So we fitted the wall. Jess and I got this up, probably a month ago maybe? Maybe a bit over a month ago. And then the door, we had 2 goes at the door. We got it near on perfect, and then we threw it down the freezer room and broke it, and then had another go at making it good. So I'll show you briefly in here if you want to have a look. So this is our toilet. So obviously the toilet's just sitting in a box at the moment, but yeah, shower's all in. Yeah, we've got all the tiles and everything done. It's grubby as all heck because it's been raining like you wouldn't believe the last few days. But yeah, that's coming along nice.
Figure out how to get these questions up on the screen because you've got a few already.
Can we spin the camera around? So how do we do? Or show all chat or something? Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Right, so scroll through them and we'll go through all of them. All right, hang on. So what have we got? Hello from New Jersey, Ronald. Hey man, how you going? FPV audio's good, thanks. Oh, hi from Canada, Diggiver. Hey, what's up for Florida? Who's that? John Hodge, is it? Where does the Frantic Sailing Adventures, where does the Death Trike go? Frantic Sailing Adventures, SolidWorks for the win? Yes, it is. All right, so I've got to answer that. So Jess has buggered her hip recently, and as such, she can't really easily go in a normal wheelchair. She's every now and again she's in a wheelchair. So we are building, me and Reese from Frantic Sailing Adventures have been chatting back and forth about the design of this 3-wheeled trike wheelchair thing that I'm going to build for her, and it's aptly named the Death Trike because it's had a few design variations. We've had what flamethrowers suggested, invisibility cloaks, hovering capabilities. So yeah, I'm not sure where it's going to go, Reese, but we'll figure it out. Okay, what else have we got? Question was?
Let's run through your update. We'll go through.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. Okay. Downstairs, we are still to paint. So we've got freezer room and engine bay, and we're still to finish the painting in the freezer room.
Well, no, Bex did half of it.
Yeah, Bex came up for a weekend and gave us a hand, and she got probably half of the room painted. And I've just got to do the plumbing and stuff so that we can have the shower and this dry room drain away. In the engine bay, so Walter, there's a video coming out on repacking a stern gland. So again, that's live for Patreons, and I think that's up on YouTube in a week or 2, something like that. A South African guy called Walter came through and gave me a hand, and we rebuilt the stern gland. And last night I fitted all the LED lights and everything in the room, so if anybody's curious about the engine bay, I can take you down there, and yeah, that's all lit up now, so that's all good. Right, and up front. So if you come on through up here, so in the wheelhouse here, so I'll actually come right up if you want. So in the wheelhouse, so all of this has been painted now, so the next stage is sticking on the insulation and running the wiring and all that sort of jazz. These seats are all mounted down, so they sort of slide on their normal sliders and everything now. In terms of, actually we've got a guy that follows the boat, Tim, who's coming up to do a week worth of work, and his job is building the dash, so he's really good with interior panels and woodwork and so on, so he's going to be building the dash across here and then running all of the, he's good at electrics and good at woodworking, so wiring and dashboard is what's going to be done there. And then I don't think we've done anything up front. Oh no, we've put a dishwasher in actually. It's about the only major thing we've done inside. Gives you a view out the front. I don't know if you can see much in the weather, but so this is basically the driving position of Brupeg. So this is kind of what you see when you're steering. So
stay there, and I'll go out the front.
Yeah, righto.
You talk.
Yeah, I suppose you can hear me actually. I don't know if the audio is going to cut out. Ryan's going to go.
Yeah, so tell him to give me a message if the audio cuts out.
No worries. So Ryan's just going to go up the front of the boat, and it's a wee bit narrow up the side deck, so I'm not 100% sure if the audio and everything's going to work through all of the steel. Alright, so this is the side deck basically going forward on Brupeg, and then that side of the boat gets higher and higher as you go forward. So right at the front it's about 1 metre high plus the handrail. So that's all of our front deck. That's going to be blasted this weekend. Me and Ryan are getting stuck into that. There we go. So it gives you an idea how big the wheelhouse is. Gives you an idea how big the wheelhouse is when you sort of see it like that. Like I'm standing at the driving position. But yeah, there's plenty of room. You want to come up? So this is Jess. So Jess is the driving force of the boat. She basically keeps everything on track and on schedule, and yeah, she's the inspiration behind actually getting this boat in the water. So it was her dream that sort of kick-started all of this, and yeah, just my ability to be able to build stuff kind of allows us to do it. So yeah,
great.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's neat putting up front. So that deck, where that those red hatches are on, is all a non-skid coating all over that deck. So he'll come back down. So as he comes back down the side, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a you can see the new roof and everything that we built sort of sticks out over the side there a little bit. Hello.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah. So show them the rear roof. But hard to hear through the windows. So all of that roof has been added. That's what we built on a couple of years ago, and yeah, that's all going to get sandblasted and painted shortly. At the moment, it's just a red primer. Cool. So I'll go back down the back. Bit of a look around the yard. All right. So why don't we do some questions?
Yeah.
How's the audio? If anybody's listening, is it okay?
Yeah,
What
we
did
just
it?
got a thumbs up on the audio.
Oh, sweet. Cool. So spin it around.
Any questions back?
Yeah, let's get Jess in the video.
You got quite a few, so.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm just going to put this up here because
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Grab a seat.
all stay still so I can move us into it. Yeah, cool. All right. So,
Oh, there's a few.
all right. Earl from Saskatchewan. I always cock that one up. I think I got it right, but I'm not sure. Hey guys, love the project. John Hott. Hey guys, love the project. I have a question on how the vent in the head will work if you sealed it up so tight. Oh, it's really easy. I'll show you. All right, I'm just going to take the camera and show you on that one. So, all right, so this. Oh bloody hell! Door shut. Can't see anything, does it? This here is the extractor fan vent in the shower, and on the other side, this is a piece of basically steel cut out that we're going to put stainless louver vents. So the door seal's really tight, but this room will have fresh air coming through at the time. All right.
We were more worried that the internet was going to cut out.
Right.
Sorry guys, I'm just working through questions. I'm not trying to be put my finger over the thing. Okay, Digama, is it lost? Yeah, Digama. Any plans when you're done to sail the Northwest Passage? Stan Rogers made me ask. Yeah, man. So Northwest is definitely on the list of places. So there's 3 main places that we're really keen to go to. So Northwest, absolutely top of the list. Patagonia is just shy of first place. And while we're down there, Antarctica. So Patagonia and Antarctica, we want to sort of do things like Falkland Islands, South Georgia Islands, all of that kind of area. But there's so much to see down there. You could spend 2 years cruising around there and still not see it all. So yeah, absolutely, Northwest is
It's going to take a while to do all this though.
It's like this is not going to happen in the next year or two. This is probably a 5-year plan to get there because there's so much we've got to do to get there. But absolutely, it's where we want to go. So, sorry, I'm just going to try and keep up with some of these
Maybe
questions.
just respond to some of those other ones, eh?
Yeah, I will. Just got to... right. Hey man, from Hampton, Virginia. Rob's like, is it Psycho or Sicko? I'm not sure. Thanks Doug and Bark for the quick fix. I'm not sure what that means.
No.
Brick City 9 mil. Rust Bucket Mokes, hello from Gladstone, Queensland. Really loving watching the
thanks.
build. Hey,
Cool.
thanks, buddy. It's going to make flames from Frantic Sailing Adventure. He's talking about the 3-wheeled trike that we're going to build for Jess. Brick City, greetings from New Jersey. Thanks, good to have you. Hi from Mandurah, West Oz. I actually don't know where that is, Timothy.
Ah, New South Wales?
I'm a Kiwi, so I'm not, yeah.
You were still learning, eh?
Hello, greetings from Cronulla. Cool. FPV squad. Peter Donson, g'day from Cessnock, New South Wales. Brupeg is looking great. Thanks, buddy. I love your avatar. It's kind of frightening, but John Hodge, can't wait to see the dash. Yes.
Cool.
Oh, when
Yeah,
it's
good
built.
question.
Yes. When it's built. Yeah, it's going to look awesome. What kind of heating systems are you going to use?
Can I just turn?
Sorry.
You've got to get him. You've got to get him. Ryan.
Lost the. There we go.
Yeah.
Hang on. So.
You must know all these places in Australia. People are talking about, eh?
What kind of heating system are you going to use?
Ryan's Australian. So he knows these places.
But don't hold that against them. What kind of heating systems are you going to use? So, what have I done?
Look at.
So we're going to. Oh, I'm losing all the blooming questions. Sorry, I'm a real learner. Hang on.
Here we go.
Oh, sorry, Jim.
No worries.
Christ. All right, heating systems. We're going to have
We keep
a couple.
losing
Hang on, we're going to have a couple. We're going to have hot water heating radiators throughout the boat, and we're also going to have, when it's not like really polar, we're going to be using just reverse cycle air conditioning to heat. But when it gets really cold, we've got diesel heaters that heat like a boiler that then go and heat hot water radiators throughout the boat.
But nothing's really settled. Like, we're still pondering, you know.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. There's a million questions.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's great view. Audio's great. Audio's awesome. Audio's cool. Coming loud and clear. Love what you guys are doing. Thanks very much, Marco. Tigama, you've pronounced it fine. Hello from Slidell, Louisiana. What a difference from when you guys first got it. You guys are doing a great job. Thanks very much, Keith.
Cheers.
Sounds icy cold when you explore the Arctic. God, I hope so. If you really do the Northwest Glaciers, please let us know ahead of time. I seriously would love to be a passenger. Awesome. Yep, so definitely we've got the boat set up for 12 people and there's only 3 crew, so there's lots of space. So definitely, if you want to be with us,
let us know, eh?
Let us know, get in touch.
Really
and
serious. Yeah.
Our Patreon's going to be the first to know where we're going, but yeah, definitely get in touch with us because we want to take people with us.
Are you going to cruise around Oz a little?
Yes, so Peter Donaldson, are you going to cruise around Oz? Yeah, we are. So we're going to start off with like Great Barrier, and we're based in Bundaberg, so Great Barrier is right next to us. And then we're going to do the East Coast, maybe down to Tasmania, etc. But nothing's set in stone yet. Just depends on when we get this thing in the water. John Hutch, I am trying to go really fast because there's lots of questions I'm not keeping up with. What kind of insulation will you use? God, we've had.
Oh, that was a discussion we had yesterday.
We have talked about that so many times, and we still haven't come up with an answer.
Yeah, we're going to have multiple layers and
polystyrene, rock wool, corrugated tin foil. There's so many different options that we're looking at.
We don't have much room.
Aerogel is another one I'm keen on as well.
So
Hello
still
from
exploring.
East Coast Canada.
Stuff that expands, huh? Sprayed on.
No.
Different thing.
Fishman 506, East Coast Canada. Thanks, mate. Digama Fishman was born and raised in St John. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you, John.
Yeah.
Happy Easter, guys.
Port Elgin here, cool. When are you starting on the solar panels? Really interested in the setup. Once we've got the roof blasted and painted, then we'll probably be mounting the solar panels. So
You've got all the mounts on already, yeah?
Yeah, I've welded stainless mounts everywhere, so solar panels will be coming up probably in the next 2 or 3 months tops. Mandurah is about an hour south of Perth. Okay, cool.
Right.
Perfect, that would be what I would do. Okay, awesome. Keith Slidell. Oh, right, Slidell.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
What did I say? Sliddle or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Dibs on the Northwest Passage.
Yeah. Cool.
I am intrigued by your attention to using old cooking oil. Yep. Did a bit of Googling and found very little on it. You need to do anything to the engine, and can you easily swap between oil and diesel?
We're going to be doing a video on that.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a video specifically on the veg oil conversion. It's very, very easy to do. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll have a video on that. And yes, it'll be dual fuel, so you can run it on diesel or oil just with a flick of a switch.
But it's because of the motor you chose to put in the boat that we can
Correct.
do that. We don't need to do a big
Yeah.
thing to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's because it's an older motor,
We specifically chose the engine because we know you can convert those easily.
a less complex motor.
Yeah, mechanical injection rather than electronic. Yeah, right, 12 people. Wow. Will the head you've been working on be the only one? Yes, it's going to be.
Eventually we're going to
maybe.
have one downstairs.
Yeah. No, but it sounds better if you say 12 people, one toilet. What's going to happen?
Yeah,
the
tell 'em.
drama. Sorry, I should really.
What question are you up to?
Second to last. Okay, Rob Sykes from Hampton, Virginia.
Yeah.
Have you been
Damien, read them off those.
since?
And
Oh, yes, SV Seeker, yes. Sorry, hang on.
Hello from Germany. How far north are you guys planning to go with the boat? Cool.
Oh, right, right, Rob Sykes. Seeker put you onto us. Yes, cool. Doug's awesome. He actually helped us out a huge amount. FPV, you only need preheating. I'm assuming you're talking about veg oil conversion. Yes. You need to basically clean the fuel up, so filter it and make sure there's no water in it, and then you need to preheat it and you can burn it in the engine.
But
so
it's quite a process.
it's an elaborate
Not
process.
an easy thing to do.
It sounds simple, but it is elaborate. But it is simple. Marcus Engel, hello from Germany. How far north are you guys planning to go with the boat? By the way, that is one mighty beard Ryan. Show him the twisty bits. You should see, he's got like twisty bits off the side.
No twisty bits.
How far north are we planning to go? We're going to be above the Arctic Circle when we go through Northwest Passage, but I don't necessarily know exactly how far north we're going to go. That pretty much depends on the ice leads and so on available at the time. Can you easily get 10,000 litres of used oil? Yeah, thanks. Can you easily get 10,000 litres of used oil? Yes, you can. So who's that? That's Marco H. Any major centre that has like McDonald's, a KFC, and a whole bunch of like shops like that, they have big collection. Hey, they have big collection facilities because they use it as animal feed. So yeah, it's piece of cake to get 80,000 litres if you really need to, sort of thing. So
and there's a cost, but it's about a quarter the cost of diesel.
Yeah, so
and that's processed, that's filtered.
Diesel in Australia is about $1.50 a litre, and we can get the oil completely processed the way we need for 65 cents a litre. And if we do it ourselves, it's free. We just have to do the processing. So
Filters
depends.
the only cost really.
Yeah.
Time.
So it's like under 10 cents a litre sort of thing if we do it. John Hotch, head drummer. I love it. Frantic Sailing. I second the comment on Ryan's beard. How often do you water it?
Twice daily.
Ryan's beard is wonderful.
That was Reese, wasn't it? That's a classic Reese comment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Was it Ruth?
Yeah. Roughly how much do you think it will cost to run this big old girl? Peter Donaldson. Okay, so she'll burn, depends on what fuel we're using, she'll burn between 18 and 22 litres an hour at cruise, and she uses 63 litres an hour flat out. However, cruise is about 7 to 8.5 knots. Flat out's about 12 knots. So there's no real point in putting the hammer down because you just
racing away from a storm, maybe.
Yeah, race from a storm, but you're just wasting bucket loads of fuel. So it's not going to be massively expensive. It's probably going to go through maybe $500 to $600 worth of fuel a day if we're using diesel. However, in saying all of that, that's split between 12 people. So like the actual cost to run this, it sounds a lot, but when you break it down, it's not significant.
But in the cold regions, we're going to have to use diesel because the veg oil won't handle it, right?
We'll test that, but yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of heating the bottom of
preheating the tanks. Yeah.
That's not an experiment. We're not sure about that. Yeah.
Yep. Seeker turned me onto this channel as well. Great channel, great boat, great build. Yep. John Hotch. Yep, that's true. Bruce Elmore. Hi from North Carolina. Great to see you guys live. Thanks, Bruce. Good to see you on board. Brianna Hudson. It's almost Easter. Yay! Going to sleep for tomorrow Easter. Oh, we're already in Easter, Brianna, and it's fine. It's awesome. You'll love it. I seem to have lost you. Okay. Thank you. Do you have any idea when she will be off dry land and into the water?
Yeah.
That's Peter. So we're hoping, what, 6 months, 9 months tops? Why won't you take me seriously?
Sorry. Yeah, six months. Dane's got to build, what are they called, stabilizers? There's a particular name for them?
Oh, yeah. So one of the major jobs I have to do before we go in the water is I have to fold down stabilizers. So, and
that's a big job, and that's going to add in time.
Yeah.
And we really want to do it when we're out of the water because they're hard to put on, they're hard to build.
I can't do it in the water.
It's just too hard.
Yeah.
So that may extend. It just depends on how easy it is to build them. We're hoping to get someone to give us a hand to do it.
Bruce has just said, "Oh, you guys are in the future. What's the game scores? I need to go make a bet." Tough boat builder with bunny ears, classic. I don't know if anyone's ever called me a tough boat builder.
Alright, I'll get it.
You're off here, Doug. You're off here too. Just refresh, if you're struggling with the stream, just refresh your page. I think that should solve it. If it doesn't, let me know. So what is the number one issue that keeps you awake at night when you think about what you still need to do? Oh, geez. That's an interesting question.
I think it's the amount of blasting. For me, it's the amount of blasting. It's because it's just so time consuming and physically hard.
Yeah.
And it just seems to be endless.
It's a big boat, and our blaster is really cheap to run, but it's small and slow. And when you're trying to do a really big boat with a little wee blaster, it just takes forever, you know. And it's a dirty, mucky job. Like, you're basically walking around in gumboots and raincoats and stuff for days and days and days, and it's just tiring. So that's.
But it's digging, like it's getting the sand filtered and into the machine, and then once it's all blasted and it's down the side of the boat, it's on the ground. Then you've got to shovel it into a skip, and it's just. I think that's the thing that Dane struggles with most is the shoveling, because it's hard on the back.
Pretty physical, yeah. Silverman roll. Are y'all going to get bow thrusters?
God, that would be so good. I'd love that.
Yeah. So when we go into the passage, like Northwest Passage and Antarctica and stuff like that, if we do get boxed in with ice, it's actually quite handy to have a bow thruster, so you can start to manoeuvre your boat in different ways to try and rock it and break it free of ice pack. So yeah, eventually I would love to get a bow thruster, and quite a powerful one. Is not just a little dinky thing. I'm thinking something with a bit of oomph. What would you guys say to yourselves if you could give one piece of advice to yourselves back on the first day?
Buy a plasma machine.
Yeah.
Cutter. Plasma.
You do yours and I'll do mine.
You do. What do you mean?
No, you say what would you?
It's a plasma cutter.
Plasma cutter, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's a couple of things. I would buy a 20-foot shipping container, and I'd turn the inside into a workshop, all-weather workshop, and I'd have a drill press and a mill and a lathe and a plasma cutter, and I'd run out of money setting up the workshop, and I wouldn't be able to build the boat. But so in an ideal world, I'd have it at the same height as the deck. However, probably not realistic. No. I would basically set up a small all-weather workshop, and I would buy good tools. So when we first started, I bought a MIG welder that was an old beast, but a commercial unit, like a really butty, strong thing. It was about 15 years old or something when I bought it, and I only paid $750 for it, but it's really good. Great little machine, eh? And
it's all about the tools, the quality of the tools.
Yeah, don't try and skimp. Like, if we were doing this again, I was pretty naive. I thought we'd get it in the water a lot faster than we did, and I didn't realise how big a job it was. But yeah, buying good tools and setting yourself up so that you don't ever really get stopped is probably the best thing I could probably do if we were doing it again.
And backup tools, because if the 9-inch grinder died, then we can't do a certain job that required that, so that delays things. So we've had a lot of delays over the last 2 years because of tools dying. So because it's tough.
And we actually, so we actually have, like, for example, now we actually have 2 grinders, and they're both really good grinders. I think they're AEG grinders, and if one dies, we can carry on with the job with the grinder number 2 and then take the first one in for a warranty claim. So that's the other thing, is make sure you've always got enough gear that you don't get stopped.
We had a problem. We had the fish box we had to cut off the back when we first got the boat, and we used grinders, 9-inch and so on, and it took a year to grind and take off the welds that were left. It was so hard. So yes, plasma cutter to cut that would have been great.
Yeah. What else we got there? Give me the phone.
That's it.
How are you heating the boat in the cold? Bruce Elmore. So there's now that I've caught up, I'll go a bit slower. So there's 3 ways that we're looking at heating the boat. So first is waste heat off the engine, and it's going to be going into insulated water pipes that go through the boat to radiators in each room, or as close as we can to that. The second is, and if the main engine's not running, obviously we've got no heating, so the second would be like a little gas boiler, diesel boiler that heats water to run that same system. And the third is electric, but electric I'm not really that keen on, because in really, really cold weather, electric starts to not work. I'm talking like minus 35 and below. Your batteries start to struggle to deliver enough power and stuff. So
well, the Canadians would know about that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's guys on here that know a lot more about that than me. But
we've got to learn about that.
Yeah, we're in the tropics. We don't get weather like that, so we don't know anything about that sort of stuff yet. But yeah, it's essentially anything manual is what I'm trying to do with the heating. So boilers and waste heat off the engine and stuff like that, as opposed to like electric heating and so on. But
you're going to run pipes through the walls though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, how are you doing, boat? Peace, blessing from Alaska. Good to see you guys again. Is it AK Mudslinger? I'm assuming that's Alaskan Mudslinger. Megapoxy. Do you think there's a possibility the external underhull radiator in ice may rupture from a collision? It looks vulnerable. Yes, there's a really good chance that that could happen. We've been told by people that have gone through the Northwest that it's okay to have external keel cooling. However, we're going to rip it all off and have internal cooling. We just haven't got to that yet because we don't need to. We're in Australia. You know, if something hits it, you've done something wrong. It's not an ice thing.
So the plan is to haul out after a bit of travel and do the last bits of ice stuff. So that'll be in that haul out.
Yeah. That's probably a year from now.
Yeah. Well, a year once we're in the water. Yeah.
Jay Diggs. Oh, I looked at your channel, Jay. I love your hat, mate. That video you sent me, it was awesome. How tall is Ryan? I don't know.
Well, if you work in feet or centimetres, so 6'8" in feet, 204 in centimetres.
Wow.
Long.
Yeah. Big. Husky. One
for Seeker. Are you going to have a bow thruster, Peter? You're just stirring shit, Peter. What will you use for anti-fouling paint? I've got Hempel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've got Hempel. I don't know if that's any good or not.
Well, we were told that it was really good, so that's why we're trying it.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
We'll see how we go. Again, we're pulling out probably 12 months after we launch so we can start doing major ice mods. So if we need to change anything, then we will.
Everything's a trial. So.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So is it costing what you anticipated, or should I not ask? No,
we're really good.
It's pretty good actually. So it's cost a lot more than I thought, but I was massively unrealistic when I started. However, because we're doing pretty much everything ourselves, it's basically parts only that we pay for. So it's pretty reasonable in terms of like building the boat. I don't know. I don't know the exact.
We're living on the boat at the same time, so that cuts some costs as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We've been really careful. We're really tight on our budget at all times.
It's a 57-foot boat, and I don't know the exact number, but we spent less than 100 grand on it. But I don't know what the exact number is, and that's been spread out over 3 years, and that includes living on it. So if you're a rental,
and cost of buying and stuff.
Yeah, and cost of buying. So like it starts to get smaller and smaller.
Being in the yard, all of that.
Oh, and the other thing is, for those not in Australia, Australian rents and stuff are quite high. So, like, it's pretty normal over here to pay $2 grand, $2.5 grand a month for a house, or like an apartment or whatever. So, gives you to kind of put it in context. Yeah, 20 grand a year for rent isn't out of the ordinary over here.
So we're doing quite well, really.
I have the same question as Moxie. What are you doing about the external radiators? Okay, cool. Dan, I'm assuming you've had that answered. Pipes to blower units or simple passive on the pipes? Bruce Elmore. I'm not sure what that means. I'm assuming you mean like waste heat capture and so on. We're actually, so there's a couple of ways I was thinking of doing it, is wrapping copper pipe around the exhaust and trying to, with antifreeze and so on in it, and trying to suck the heat out of the actual exhaust, which will heat up the cooling system for the boat. It'll warm up the heating system for the boat, but at the same time it'll also suck heat out of the exhaust, which will cool the engine room down slightly. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see if that works or not. Or alternatively, we can use the engine coolant as the heating medium. So we'll just see what works best, really. Hello from Oklahoma, from Richard. Hey Richard, David Lasala, where's your first trip going to be to? So,
Great Barrier.
Yeah.
We're not, how far away we're like?
So we're about 40 miles away from the bottom of the Great Barrier Reef. So Australia's pretty well known for Great Barrier. Google it if you've never heard of it before. It's pretty awesome. I don't know if people know about it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're about 40 miles away from the Great Barrier, and Jess has always wanted to go down that way. So yeah. So
be amazing.
Yep. Yeah. Frantic. I was trying to decide whether Ryan was really tall, Damien was really small, or Ryan was just closer to the camera. All of the above. Love your attention to detail on the doors. Thanks, John. I've got to get it right or they won't work. Are you guys from Bundy, or did you move there because the boat was there? We moved here because the boat was there. So Jess and I are both Kiwis. Ryan's an Aussie. We were living in Brisbane.
And we're just about to get some weather coming.
Yeah, it's just coming, I know.
Yeah, sideways rain.
Might be run.
T-minus 10.
We might have to race inside. Yeah.
I think we might be alright.
We'll be right. We'll be right.
Be alright.
We'll be okay, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Just depends if that wind comes up.
We got some awful weather this weekend, so yeah, we're just getting a big big stonking great rainstorm come through.
Right. All good.
Yes. So sorry. Yes. We were living in Brisbane and we bought the boat in Bundaberg and we moved up here to build the boat.
Brisbane every couple of weekends to try and do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we just couldn't do it. We had to move.
Hi from London. God, it must be early in the morning where you are, Lou. All right, we're getting Kane. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, should we go inside? 1:40 a.m. Yeah, I thought it would be something like that.
Grab the chairs.
Let's go inside, eh?
Go in your wheelhouse or something, yeah?
Oh, wheelhouse.
Yeah, let's go in the wheelhouse. All right, cool. Sorry, just a quick reorganise. Right. So I'm just gonna spin the camera. Oh God, there's still these bloody things on. Righto. Back, do you want a hand up? Sorry, we're just getting everybody up.
Oh, you're right.
You right?
Yeah.
She's buggered her hip and she's got this crutch thing that she's using.
Yeah, and then the lid around the nose.
Jump in the seat there. Right, you coming up?
Yeah, let's, you can grab my phone, or is it?
Yeah, I got two phones. Someone's phone.
Oh, yeah, you're reading that.
Yeah.
That should look like-
All right. So
Face it forward, I'll go forward.
we can see what we're doing with it like that. Have a seat. All right. So
No, you need to sit down. 'Cause if
You need to
if
sit
I
there, yeah.
You're gonna look like you're about 3 foot nothing.
yeah. Oh, righto. Oh, it's quite cosy with you, bro. Frantics. Right. Sorry, I'm just going to I'm trying to keep up with all these questions, guys. What sort of research are you hoping to do up north? Do you feel climate change is a real issue, and are you hoping to gather data on that to aid scientists?
Interesting question, yeah. Yeah, looking at that, yeah, that's something that's really important to us, and it's a great opportunity.
Do we think climate change is real? 97% of scientists say it's real, and they know more about it than I do, so I'm going to go with yes. That's probably going to make some people yell at me. That's okay, because they're wrong. What are we going to do for research up there? I'm not sure, actually.
Pollution, probably.
Pollution studies.
If we do anything.
I actually don't know. I don't know, but I'm really keen to do that. I think Jess is pretty keen to do stuff in the Pacific as well, around researching that sort of stuff as well, but I don't know anything about that, but definitely keen to use the boat for that sort of stuff.
As we're designing the interior, we're looking at that just to make sure that it's available for that.
FPV squad, who's in Australia. I've Googled Australia, it looks pretty awesome. John Hoach, hey y'all divers, are y'all divers, and will you have a way to refill tanks on board?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm getting my dive license. I want to get my instructors as well. And you can answer the question in regards to air compression.
Yeah, we have talked about getting a dive compressor on board the boat. I don't know what's involved in that, but we've got enough room and we've got enough mechanical capability to do it. It's just, yeah, definitely, if the opportunity presents itself to get one and put it in, I'm really open to that, eh?
You're not a diver, Dave, are you?
I'm not a diver in as much as seagulls aren't divers. Like,
Dave doesn't like the water, ironically.
yeah, that's why we're building a boat. What is your engine's horsepower rating and any idea of your hourly fuel consumption? Who's that? That's AK Mudslinger. It's a Cummins 855 big cam. Horsepower is derated slightly to 350. We're probably going to derate that maybe to 300, depending on fuel efficiency and needs and all that sort of stuff. We only need 206 to get to hull speed, so we've already got a bit more grunt than we need. And fuel burn is 18 to 22 litres an hour. Right. What time of day is it there? It's 8:44 here. I don't know, what time is here? It's
10:44?
10:44 a.m. on a Sunday. Lou, it's well worth waiting up for. Thanks very much. Marco, I live in Brisbane. I was in Bundy 9 months ago and drove past the marina before I found out about you guys. I would love to say hi next time I'm up here.
Yeah, just
cool, man. Yeah, get in touch with us. You can message us through Facebook or Patreon if you're a Patreon. I don't know if you can message us through YouTube, but we've got a Facebook page. You can get hold of us anytime, so do that if you're in the area. Why did you choose those seats, John Hoach? Because they're cool. Why would you not choose them? No, I choose them because basically they're race seats out of a car, and as the boat's rocking and rolling and all that sort of stuff, they kind of support you quite well. And the other thought was, if we start doing jumps and wheelies in the boat, we can put a harness on and really strap in. That's my answer. Do you want to?
The wheelhouse is Dane's domain, so he can do whatever he likes. So this is what he wanted. So.
Sorry, can somebody answer this? Can you guys hear Ryan and Jess good enough when they talk? Because I've got the microphone on. I love the channel. I'd love to join you guys on a trip sometime. Marcus Engel, love the channel. Would love to join you guys on a trip. Love to have you on board too. Get in touch with us if you want to come on board. Get in touch.
Yeah, let us know. Eh?
So anybody that's watching this, if you're interested in coming on Brupeg, get in touch with us because we want to get people on board Brupeg.
No vegans. None. Just kidding. Vegans are right.
Digama said, science, follow the evidence, don't care about anything else. T for bastards. What a fantastic name. Greetings from London. T for bastard, of course you would be an English person. Greetings from London. How did you three meet and come up with this project? Cheers. So Jess and I are married. Jess's dream was to basically live, since she was a little girl, since she was a 6-year-old girl, she used to hang out at the big fishing port in the bottom of New Zealand where she grew up.
Port City. I love the big trawlers, and I always dreamed of actually living on one. I don't like killing fish, and I didn't want to fish, so I could never kind of figure out how to do it. But when Dave and I married, we both found out we wanted to live on the water and not live on land. And Dave has a real thing for big boats like this. So, and he's got an engineering background, so we put it together and did it. And then Dave and Ryan met through work, and Ryan's into the media side of things and videoing, and he's. So,
for those that don't know, so Jess and I live permanently full-time on the boat. Jess is pretty unwell and she helps whenever she can, but most of the time she can't physically do a lot of the work on the boat, so she does all of the organising and scheduling and all that sort of stuff. I do most of the physical work on the boat. That's why I'm in the videos most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'll get it.
The hatches are open.
I'll do it.
Okay, cool.
Carry on, yep, I'm good.
It's starting to rain and we just realised the hatches are open at the front and the boat's filling up with water. So I do a lot of the physical work on the boat because I'm able to do that, and Ryan is based about 350 kilometres away from the boat, and he does all of our digital stuff. So whenever we make an episode, Ryan is the one that's created all of that. So that's how the trio works. And how did we come up with this project? Jess and I had been looking for a trawler to convert for about 4 years, and when we found Brupeg. So it had always been a dream to have one of these types of boats to do, and it just so happened that everything worked with Brupeg. The cost was what we could afford, the boat was the type of boat we wanted, so it all just worked out. Still Saturday. Have you had any inquiries from the science research community? Tim stammers. Yes and no. We've had one. I won't name names just because I'm not sure if they want it known or anything, but a pretty well-known organisation has been in touch about leasing the boat. They run a number of really large ships, and they're pretty expensive to run, and they're a charity, so they can't afford to run really big boats and stuff. So
just narrow it down a bit more, don't you?
What?
Just narrow it down a bit more.
There's lots of charities. So anyway, one of the thoughts they had was actually leasing smaller boats instead of running big boats, so they could have more smaller boats rather than a few big ones. We're still sort of talking to them about that and seeing if it'll work or not. It may or may not, we don't know. But yeah, definitely we're open to that. But we also haven't really put it out there as well. So if there are organisations watching this, get in touch. We're really, really happy just to have a conversation and see if we can help you guys. But yeah, as the crew here, we're pretty keen to see if we can do stuff like that. Okay, cool, thanks. Dig them out, I can hear them fine. Great. Cool. Good idea with the seat choice. I can hear them fine. Okay, thanks, John. Jess, not that well. Do you want to talk about Jess not that well?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with a condition.
Hang on. I've got a better idea. They said Jess has a bit of an echo.
All right. Thanks.
There we go.
I was after the first year, I was working on the boat alongside Dane doing all the work, and then I got diagnosed with a condition that's slowly getting worse. So we decided to keep going on the project. We really had a serious think about it because it's pretty hard for Dane to do it all by himself. But we decided to keep going, and we've just altering the boat to suit my condition, so it's wheelchair accessible, most of the boat. There'll be a lift at the back for me to be able to get in a dinghy and things like that as my mobility reduces. But yeah, we're not interested in it stopping us, and it's what I want to do. So, and Dane's really supportive. So
yeah. Sorry, we just got a quick question here. So there's two that I want to answer. One, Alistair Robinson, if you're still on the feed, you said who was Ryan second row for? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you just clarify?
He means football.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm not a football person. I had no idea what that meant.
He's probably yeah. Anyway, rugby. I get asked all the time for rugby if I played lock for rugby union because of the height. So no rugby union, no a little bit of rugby union, schoolboy rugby union, no basketball, unfortunately.
you do ice hockey though, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit of ice hockey. I like to say, when people ask me if I play basketball, I like to ask them if they play mini golf.
Yeah, you must get asked as a lot.
Every day. Every day. Every day.
So we've got a that's awesome. So Marco H, Dive Compressors, Daryl at Dive Tech Oz in Brisbane. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
We'll jot that down.
Yeah, we need to look into it. I'm keen on that. Yeah.
Yep,
I need some advice on dive licenses too. So there are some places around, but Australia in particular is quite expensive when it comes to that. So if anyone knows anywhere good, let me know.
Okay, so Stephen Keller said, why a trawler versus sail? So Jess and I lived on a yacht for 4.5 years before we were on Brupeg. And I've done 20 years of competitive sailing. So through, and I know 3 o'clock in the morning when it's blowing its ass off and it's cold and you can't see anything and you have to change the sail, you have to go outside in awful conditions no matter what. Why a trawler? Because at 3 o'clock in the morning when it's blowing its ass off and it's awful outside, I can be sitting here in fluffy slippers with a coffee going, oh, it looks dreadful outside, and just carry on driving.
And it's about strength and about size and about other things as well.
Yeah.
But,
so it's possible to go where we want to go in a yacht. People do it regularly, but it's not easy to go where we want to go in a yacht.
And we want to take people with us. We want it to be a really enjoyable experience.
Yeah. Everything that we're doing can be done in a yacht, but it's just the level of ease and comfort that can be done is significantly different. So
this boat is pretty strong though.
Yeah, we chose Brupeg because she's built like a tank. Like she's gone through, that we know of, she's gone through 2 cyclones already, and at sea, like not like hiding. These are taking them on in the middle of the blooming ocean as well. So she's not a princess. She's a beast of a boat, and we're going to be strengthening her more for ice work, specifically for like impact resistance and things like that. So she's a tank, and it's because of where we want to go that we chose to go with the trawler.
And in context, like there's 3 of us sitting in the wheelhouse right now. We could probably fit another 4 maybe max standing. So probably 7 uncomfortably, 6 comfortably in the wheelhouse with 180 degrees worth of vision, and you're enclosed from the elements as well. So from where we're planning on going, the boat's really capable of being able to access those places, but also give some comfort too. So
and we like sailing. Like we do enjoy sailing. It's just easier not to for where we want to go.
Sorry, we're just checking the questions and everything again. What else we got there? Good on you, Jess.
Stronger than the Titanic. Let's go. The bulkheads are enclosed.
Yeah. Oh, engine room tour. John Hoach, engine room tour. I'll do that for you in 2 seconds. Stronger than the Titanic, Steve McGrath. Yeah. With all the mods you're doing, do you need a naval architect involved? Not sure if things like stability, etc., are affected. So if we will.
Yeah, ideally we will.
Yeah, if we were in survey, which we're not, if we were in survey, we would absolutely have to have an architect involved in everything. because we're not in survey, we don't have to, but we will. So
we've already had someone volunteer some time to explain a few things to us and go over some equations and things, which has been really great. But yeah, we need to do it in detail at some point.
Digger, the feed is getting a bit choppy for me. Okay, we'll see if we can go outside and maybe solve that. Glenn H, I see a lot of cruisers being really well set up with everywhere on land. Any thought of putting a few pushies on board or even a small scooter motorbike?
Yeah, definitely.
Stay tuned for an episode coming up called the Death Trike. No, so we will probably put a couple...
In collaboration with Frantic Sailing Adventures.
Yeah. So me and Reese from Frantic Sailing Adventures are currently working on a three-wheeled off-road wheelchair for Jess.
Yeah, I just can't go where we used to go, so Dave's going to design something for me that will handle it.
And it has the ability basically to be motorised, and there's motorised and then there's motorised. So yeah, we'll see if we can do something like that.
But yeah, we're going to have hopefully have some on board, scooter and definitely bikes. And
Bruce Elmore, where I come from, we would say she has a good pedigree. Yep, you could definitely say that.
Do we need to go outside for
do the engine room?
Yeah, I'll do the engine room sec. So Peter Donaldson, it's not how deep the water is outside the boat. The main concern is how deep the water is inside the boat. Marco H, thanks guys, got to go. Thanks for the feed. No worries, good to have you on board.
Yeah.
Dig him laughing at Peter Donaldson. That's a pretty good comment. All right, so what else we got? We'll head off in the engine room. I watch Frantic Sailing because of you guys, and you guys because of Seeker. Yeah, it's all one big family, eh?
Yeah.
Will you have a large tender for exploring or just a small inflatable? We'll have both actually. So we'll have a small inflatable for just when we're buzzing in and out of marinas and stuff like that, and we're anchored, 100 meters away. But we do want to have a large, hard bottom, rigid inflatable, so that we can, with something like maybe a 30 or a 40 horse on, so that we can, go 20 miles away from the boat without any real issue. So yeah, and that'll be craned up onto the roof. I'll need to build a crane, but it'll be craned up onto the roof when we go. Should we do the engine bay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll just clip this back on. It's kind of a behind the scenes of what it takes to do these. All right. You guys right?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. I'm going to go inside a steel box, so the feed may get a little... Sorry, guy that helped me repack the stern gland just turned up. So I'm going to go inside the engine bay. The feed may get a little bit choppy because it's basically a big steel box. All right, so I'll spin the camera around. Are you having a dive platform, Peter? Yes, we will be sort of doing it. Not a... I'll just go all the way back. All right, so that's a fuel tank. You can see there. Okay, so you can sort of see, looking through there, Ryan's coming down the main access into downstairs. And pretty echoey, eh? All right. So this is our main engine. So it's a Cummins 855. And then we've got a new gearbox that we ordered 3 years ago and then bolted up and everything. Exhaust and everything, it's a 5-inch exhaust, but I need to actually upgrade that to 6-inch. But we're just going to run the engine and see what she's like, back pressure wise and stuff. Easter engine. All right, so you can sort of see we've got heaps and heaps of room in this engine bay. So it's 5 meters wide. And it's, what is it about?
Probably,
Might have to just see if it'll restart, I don't know.
you need to restart.
Okay. I don't know, do you want to see if it's going to work? Damn.
Feed gone. We're back.
Hey! Cool. Is it all going?
Yeah, we're back.
Sorry about that. I can't really show you the engine bay that well because internet's not real strong around here and it clearly doesn't like being inside there. Somebody asked 12 or 24 valve. I'm not actually sure. Big Cam 3. Why don't you set it up and come back? We'll... Sorry, I'm just going to get the questions back up again. Oh, it's back. All right.
Wow.
Do we get much, Tim Stammers, do we get much time to watch, do we get much time to watch other YouTube channels? We try and find new YouTube channels that are kind of doing similar, different but similar things, if that makes sense. Don't get as much time as we'd like, but there are a couple that we quite like. So Seeker, if you haven't heard of Seeker, check out SV Seeker, it's pretty cool. There's another one, Frantic Sailing Adventures, a mate of ours that's just started a channel, so he's rebuilding a yacht. There's some other guys, Acre to Arabella. That's a cool story. They're building a wooden boat in the States. I can't remember where in the States, Maine, but that could be miles off.
Well, it's a long way from the coast, I know that much.
Yeah, and it's kind of neat. Like they're chopping the wood. It's their property. They're chopping the wood down on their property, milling it on their property, building the boat on their property. Like, it's a pretty cool story what they're doing.
It's a heritage boat or something, isn't it?
I think it's no. You're thinking of Samson Boat Co.
Ah.
Yep, different one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other ones off the top of my head we really like. There's bound to be others. I just can't remember what they are. Sorry to the other channels. Feed is choking badly as expected. Yep. You might want to do a tour as a video, the choppiness and resolution down to potato quality. Yeah, I'll do an engine room tour. We'll do an engine room tour as a video. It's too hard to do when we have to live stream it. John Hotch, 12 or 24 valve? I don't know. I think it's 24, but I honestly don't know. Picture not good, feed's gone. Okay, we're back. Welcome back. Very low res, but that will probably fix in a second. Flash 1A got a generator. Steve McGrath, have we got a generator? No. We will put one in, but at this stage we haven't got one in. We've got a 12.5 kVA Kubota generator setup that we need to put back together and stick in.
Little parts under the boat.
Yeah, little 3-cylinder Kubota. So that's going to go in, but we haven't got anywhere near that yet. Flash, that's all subjective. We sandblasted the room out and I did the work. So we sandblasted the room out and painted it, so it's shiny, but I don't know if you'd call it flash.
No, it is. Stop it. No, it is. It's really good. Oh, we're going to do it before and after. We're going to do an episode of before and after, everything on the boat, so you'll see the comparison. It's amazing.
Yeah, true.
It's beautiful down there now.
Ben Babcock, how are you making decisions on luxury versus durability when it comes to design? Oh, that's really easy. So whenever you take a boat like this or a yacht or whatever into really cold climates, like Arctic or Patagonia, somewhere where it's really common to ice up, the best way of getting the ice off is bashing it with a sledgehammer. So luxury versus durability, if it can be smashed with a sledgehammer on the outside, that's good enough for this boat. On the inside, it's pretty much just what's going to be less likely to break, isn't it?
Well, no, comfort's actually really important.
But it has to be repairable. Like there's nothing on the inside of the boat that's like a dinky, delicate thing. Like, it has to be capable of being repaired and fixed, because if something breaks and we're 2,000 miles away from help, we have to fix it, or something bad can happen. So everything has to be repairable, if that makes sense. So comfort versus durability, it has to be comfortable, but it absolutely has to be durable.
But in saying that, the lounge area is going to be incredibly comfortable for a boat like this. It's going to be great. So bedding will be really good. You're not skinting on anything like that.
FPV squad, when I was young, boats were made of wood and men were made of steel. I'm surrounded by fishermen that would probably disagree. Frantic Sailing Adventures, I can't remember if you answered this, but will Brupeg have some form of sail power for very long passages? No.
We're having a discussion about this ongoingly. You got to know fast for a reason.
Oh.
No, we're not sure yet. I think it's a really good idea, but we're still not sure.
Yeah.
We want a second form of propulsion, but we're just not sure. So.
Salt and Tar, yes, you're right. AK Mudslinger, yeah, that's another cool channel. They're in Massachusetts, Acorn to Arabella. Yeah, I'm not very good with American states and locations, so rebuilding Tally Ho is another great one. Yeah, Samson Boat Co.
That last episode was brilliant.
Was it?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. That's interesting. Like, the guy's really interesting, eh? Like,
Actually, if you haven't ever seen rebuilding Tally Ho, go check their last episode out. It's a history of the boat and what they've been doing. It's brilliant.
Okay, cool. Tell them we sent you, and then they'll talk to us.
Yeah.
Salt and Tar is excellent. Second Rico. Oh, second recommendation. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Also, Life on the Mould, another Aussie channel. Yep. Yeah, we should. I haven't seen them. We should check that out.
Yeah, I've seen a few of their videos. They're good.
Okay.
It's nice. There's quite a big community of people doing this stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Really nice.
What sort of radar and sonar are you going to fit to the boat? We haven't bought any of that yet, so I don't know. But I have looked at, so radar-wise, ideally I want two radars. I want an open array and a closed array, because in the ice, like in the Arctic and stuff, open array, they freeze up, whereas a closed array radar just handles the ice and the weather a lot better up there. It can be frozen up, but it can still be working inside. So I'd like to have both. I'd like to have an open array and a closed array, for when we need it. And the open array that I've checked out is a 72 nautical mile radar, so it's a 6 feet wide array. It's quite a big thing. I think it was 25 kilowatt or something. It was pretty powerful, but yeah, anyway. Sledgehammer, well, yeah. Anna Staley, hello people I do not know. Hello, Anna.
Hi.
Stephen, love your honesty. Stephen Keller, love the channel and following your progress. Do you plan on funding travels by paying passengers, or do you have additional sources of income? So at the moment, I work full time, and that basically pays to get the boat done. We keep our costs as low as we possibly can so that we can put as much of my income into the boat to get it into the water. We do plan to have, look, none of this is set in stone. We don't necessarily know how all this is going to work yet, but we do plan to have Patreons paying for some of it, in the sense that we'll be doing episodes and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, there's going to be, you got three main sources of revenue that potentially could occur. It's like YouTube, the small amount of money that YouTube can generate, Patreons, and
working. Yeah. So at the moment that's how we do it. Mostly it's funded through me working, and we've only had the Patreon channel going for a couple of months now or something. So that's growing really neat. We've got 29 Patreons. So thanks for all the Patreons that are on the feed. I really appreciate the support.
And we want to have people on board, but we don't want to make it commercial.
Yeah.
We don't want to do survey or anything like that. We want to keep it in a really different atmosphere. So there are ways that we can do it, and that's what we're looking into to get people on board. Yeah.
We don't want to be one of those other channels as well that bangs on about Patreon constantly and whatnot as well. We want to make sure that if you do come on as a Patreon, we're giving you value for what your Patreon level is as well. So if you've got ideas on other things that we can be offering on our Patreon, let us know, because we'd be really open to that.
Yeah. Steve McGrath, I'm a mechanic with a nice big engine room in the Cummins, and it is a thing of beauty.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, thanks. That's what we thought.
Yeah, we feel that way.
Any suggestions for Aussie channels from Peter? Do you have insurance on the boat as it is now? No.
No.
Is the easiest way to answer that.
No.
It's really difficult to get insurance on a boat like this when you're building it. So there's from what I understand, there's what's called builder's insurance, and then there's like normal boat insurance. Builder's insurance when you're obviously doing something like this, but because this is an ex-commercial boat, most insurance companies seem to run away from it because they think, I don't know, oh my god, that's really high risk or whatever it is. But once it's in the water, it's a different story. So yeah, basically we don't have insurance, and we just try not to have anything bad happen on the boat. And when we go in the water, we'll have insurance. So yeah. Have you seen the notorious home-built Caravel? I haven't, but if you want to send me a link, Peter Donaldson, if you want to send me a link.
Google it.
Brasso, how many people will you be able to fit on board? Brasso will be able to fit a maximum of 12 people on board, but we may not necessarily take 12 people all the time. So
depends on the trip.
Yeah, it depends on the trip. So if it's a short trip, it's easy enough to have lots of people and you'd be a bit squashed. But if you're doing a long trip, if it's a 3-month, excursion somewhere, you probably want to back that off maybe to 6 or 9 people just to make it comfy. 30 Patreons now. Also, please be careful. Digama, thanks very much, buddy. Yes, actually, yeah, so he said, so Digama said 30 Patreons now. Also, please be careful. Yeah, we're really conscious of like safety. Like, I don't want to be one of those channels that bangs on about everything, you know, make sure you're wearing glasses when you're brushing your teeth and all that, you know, taking life too seriously in that sense. But
it's got to be a balance.
It's got to be a balance, you know, and like where we plan to go, we're the doctor, we're the plumber, the electrician, the mechanic, like we have to be Johnny on the spot for everything. So we try not to take stupid risks, if that makes sense. Like, where we're going is risky, and it is a risk to kind of do some of the stuff we want to do, and we accept that, but at the same time, we try and minimize the risk as much as possible without going overboard. So yeah, please be careful. We do try to build that in with what we're doing, and likewise with the boat, we try and build redundancy into everything as well. So we won't have one critical system that we are relying on not breaking. We'll have that one system, but it'll have maybe 2 or 3 backups behind it. So if that fails, we're still okay, you know, for another 2 or 3 times, and we can still fix the first one, you know, as part of that process. So
didn't you just build what was it? Something to do with steering. You had 4 levels of redundancy.
Oh no, it was the throttle and gears.
Yeah, 4 levels of redundancy. It's amazing.
So so I converted the Morse control cables that used to control the gearbox and engine throttles, but like the gearbox control lever and the throttle for the engine, used to be Morse cables in this boat. And it's a long story, but we can't run Morse cables anymore. There's too many bends and corners, so we converted them to electronic, and there's basically 4 layers of redundancy in it. So there's like independent power supplies, there's multiple servos, there's like different, and there's an alarm on each one. So if any one thing fails, a light pops up and I know exactly what's failed. And every single, like for example, servos are what moves the little control levers. Every single servo is the same, and I have a double on the shelf. So I have 4 on the engine, and then I've got 4 in the shelf. So if one breaks, I can just quickly unscrew the old one, put a new one in and plug it in. And everything's designed to be able to fix it fast and quick and cheap and easy, and so it's things like that. Like we just try and think things through a bit more.
One of the things that's been great about being in the yard is we've had a lot of advice from trawler guys who are commercial about safety levels. And we think a lot of that's really valuable. A boat like this wouldn't normally do some of the things we're going to be doing, like fire protection and the what's it called?
In the engine room.
Yeah, the system that's going to be in there. We'll have 2 systems instead of 1, for example. So
yeah,
we're planning it to be very. We don't want to have accidents. We don't want to do that.
Commercial boats have a lot of the stuff that we're looking at doing, but private boats generally don't.
Yeah.
But in saying all of that, we're more interested in, well, what's going to give us the best chance of succeeding at these trips. So therefore, a fire system actually does make a lot of sense. So even though we don't have to put one in, we will put one in.
Yeah, and a backup.
Yeah.
And it does sort of slow down the process because we are doing that. So it adds a lot of time.
Digham has said 12 plus you guys, or 12 in total? It's 12 in total. Yeah. So there'll probably be 3 crew, and then whatever's left will be available for people coming on board the boat. And then if we go to a difficult place, there'll be 3 crew, and then slightly less available for people coming on board, if that makes sense.
It's not in concrete. Like, we haven't started the downstairs interior, so we're not sure what we're going to do actually. We're just playing around with ideas.
Carl Macbeth, hey Carl, I think he's in, I think Darwin, I think from memory. Carl Macbeth, I'll sleep in the engine room. you and me can bunk together down there, buddy.
So we'll put some beds down there.
Some hammocks or something.
Yeah, hammocks would be great. Yeah, or bats in there.
Oh, right. Digham said, I mean, be careful about the boat not being insured. I know you guys are smart enough about personal safety. Yeah, we are pretty careful.
And the yard where we are is really great, actually.
Yeah.
So we've got an agreement with them, so it's good. Yeah.
Digham said that's hearing about the safety and redundancy is neat. Thanks. Sailing Nanji is Aussie also. Cool.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Peter Donaldson.
They got a cut, I think, Sailing Nanji.
Okay. John Hotch, great to have people in the yard willing to help. John, that's actually a really cool thing about building the boat in the commercial yard, is we get exposed to all of the ideas of basically guys that have been on the sea for 30, 40 years, and like if it doesn't work, they are not shy about telling you it won't work.
Yeah, or building boats for years.
Yeah, so
they're really valuable.
So we're surrounded by basically really, really smart ideas and guys and stuff. So
outspoken people too.
Fully outspoken.
You don't have to guess.
Tim Stammers, are you missing the water? And not sure if this has been asked, but when do you plan to be back in the water? 6 to 9 months. We're hoping to be in the water, Tim.
Yeah, can't wait. We can see the water every day just from the back of the boat. Can't wait to be in it.
T for Bastards, will the dog go on trips with you? And do you worry about the dog going on board? Yes, he will go with us.
Depends on the trip. It'll be yes or no. So
it's more of a quarantine thing. If we have to quarantine him to some ridiculous level when we come back, then we might leave him for that one trip or whatever it might be, but we're going to try and basically take him as much as we possibly can. He's our child. And do you...
Boat too.
Yeah.
He's really good on the water. He's been brought up on the water.
Mish has spent his entire life living on boats, so he doesn't know living on houses or anything. He knows living on boats, so he's kind of a real water dog. And do we worry about him going overboard? Yeah, we do. So we're pretty careful. In the yacht, when we were on the yacht, we had netting all the way around, and we were always sort of out there with him. We never really left him alone by himself to muck around out there. It's a wee bit different on the trawler because we've got much higher sides, but we'll still be pretty careful with him. In fact, on the scuppers, I'll show you the scuppers actually.
And we're probably going to put another bit on it.
So these are called scuppers. They're basically drains to go out over the side. So when we got the boat, it didn't have any stuff in there. So I put a stainless bar across it, and I'm probably going to weld a vertical one in, just so that there's no way the dog can go out over the side if you know he gets washed over or whatever. He might get pretty sore if he hits it, but he's definitely not going to drown.
But he wouldn't be out the back anyway. So
If it's that wild, he won't be out the back. Right, sit that back down. What else we got? We'll probably wrap up shortly, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Does the dog have an Instagram account?
Oh, we should organise that.
I don't understand Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
That's all right. Facebook?
I get Facebook because you can kind of.
I'm having Facebook.
Well, the dog could have a Facebook account. Yeah, that's true. Think about my mum lives on a boat with her dogs, and she has collars on them that have a hand hold for pulling the pups up out of the water if needed. Oh, that's quite a cool idea.
Yeah, he'll have harnesses and the buoyancy thing and all of that. So yeah, that's what we like on the yacht.
Yeah.
Speaking of mums, hi Mum, hi Brad. Thanks for watching.
So all right. So what type of stove? Oh, here we go. So what type of stove, gas or electric? So at the moment we've got a gas stove, but I would love to convert that to electric, but it just depends on if we can generate enough power. If we can't, then we'll leave it as gas. But also it depends, because if we go into really cold climates and we've got the gas bottles outside, it doesn't necessarily flow. Like at -35, LPG doesn't flow anywhere near the same as it does when it's 20 degrees positive or whatever it might be. So we just have to be we have to change the cooking to suit whatever it is that we're doing. So it may be that we go over to electric. Best cooking if you do electric. Induction. Oh, cool. Has the dog ever got seasick? He's never thrown up.
Never thrown up, but yeah, a little bit, but very rough. Yeah, he manages really well.
He's been in a 60 knot blow with hail. What else we had? We had 45 knots when we were at the marina that time.
Yeah. No, he does really well. And the boat that we were on was a small yacht, and it moved a lot. This is not going to move like that, so we want to have stabilizers. So.
It was a 28-foot yacht that weighed 3.5 ton, and this is a 57-foot boat that weighs 60 ton, 40 ton right now with nothing in it, and it'll weigh between 60 and 70 ton when it's full of fuel and loaded up. So
with stabilizers.
There's going to be a big difference in terms of stability. Cool. I think that's probably us then. So. Why don't we wrap up?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, thanks very much for joining us. And if you are curious about what we're doing, subscribe to the channel, and you can check out all of our videos. There's a heap of episodes on YouTube. I think there's 23 on YouTube. There's a few more on Patreon. We've got a Facebook account as well, so you can interact with us directly on Facebook if you ever want to have a conversation with us.
Yeah, and if anyone's keen on doing trips with us, get in touch. I know it's a while away, but
yeah,
it'll be good to start to get to know people who are serious about it.
Yep, and if you're in the area as well, we love sort of catching up with people. If you're keen to get involved, yeah, definitely just get in touch. We're really happy to sort of start a conversation with you. So yeah,
thanks
very much, guys.
See ya.